Hello aspirants, welcome to another session of the daily newspaper analysis. This video is brought to you by the Gurudev Academy. Firstly, we will look at the topics that we are going to look at. These are the topics that we are going to look at. Mainly we are going to look at the news. We are not doing editorials today. First article that we are going to look at, this article has come in your front page that talks about the Supreme Court asked the center as well as state governments to ally EWS quota concerns. Okay, so what is it about? This here is talking about that the constitutional bench. Okay, the constitutional bench is asking both the center as well as the state governments to give its reviews as well as answers regarding the 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act. What is the 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act? It is about providing for 10% reservation to the EWS community, that is economically weaker section community. Okay. So here, first mainly you have to look at the article. When you look at the article, the first line that you read, it mentions constitutional bench. You have to understand what a constitution bench is. A constitution bench is constituted with 5 or more judges. The constitution bench here, it addresses and it looks after those cases which talks about various issues as various things that are related to the interpretation of the constitution here. Okay, so constitutional bench is very important. Remember, it consists of 5 or more judges. Okay. So here, what are the concerns? Okay, in this box that you see here, in brief, they have mentioned about the concerns. We look at it one by one. Firstly, the concern is that it violates the 103rd Constitutional Amendment. Here, violates what? It violates Indira Savani judgment. Okay, what is Indira Savani judgment? In brief, Indira Savani judgment said that any legislature, it cannot provide for what? It cannot provide for reservation based on economic conditions. Okay, so previously whatever reservations that we see that are provided in your Article 15 as well as Article 16. Okay, Article 15 and Article 16, they provide reservation based on what? They provide reservation based on social as well as political backwardness. Okay, so these are the criteria that are being used to provide for reservation. Here, economically weaker sections, reservation is provided based on the economic conditions. So this violates the Indira Savani judgment is what is the concern here. Secondly, it talks about the violation of basic structure. Violation of the basic structure, how? It here, this economically weaker section reservation that you see 10% reservation, this is not provided for SC, ST and OBC. They are excluded from this type of a reservation. Here it is the violation of the basic structure of the constitution is what is another concern. Thirdly, it talks about the breach of the 50% reservation quota. See, when you look at reservation, okay, the reservation is provided in two ways, that is vertical reservation as well as horizontal reservation. The vertical reservation specifies that the total reservation of any seats or any post, it should not exceed 50% of the total vacancies. Okay, it should not exceed 50% of the total vacancies, that is your vertical reservation. And horizontal reservation is what? Out of the 50% reservation that is provided, it is distributed among different communities, that is your SC, ST, OBC as well as minorities. Okay, so here what the court is saying is that the additional 10% reservation that is being provided for the EWS, whether is it in addition to the 50% that is already given, or is it included in the 50%? This is one of the concerns, and the Supreme Court has specifically asked the center and the state to answer such concerns here. Then we talk about the EWS quota. It violates basic structure by imposing it on the private institutions. Okay, so when you look at the constitution and the fundamental rights, the private institution also has the fundamental rights to not provide reservation for any of the communities. But here the 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act, it makes it mandatory as well as compulsory for the private institution as well to provide for reservations. Okay, so these are some of the concerns that have been raised by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is asking for the answers from your center as well as the state government. So we'll look at what will be the conclusion and what will be the verdict from the Supreme Court relating to your 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, moving ahead. So we have so the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, that is Sheikh Hasina, she has been meeting some of the important diplomats as well as some of the important leaders of this country. So recently, the Prime Ministers of both the countries of India and Bangladesh, they had a meet, and there were several important deals that were signed between these two countries. Firstly, you have to understand the importance of Bangladesh. Bangladesh shares a 4,000 kilometers borderline with us. Okay, the states which share the border are 4 states, that is Sikkim, Assam, Arunachal and West Bengal. Sir, it's not Arunachal. Okay, it's not Arunachal. It is Assam. So these are the states that share border with Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a very important country for India historically as well. We have been having a normal ties. We have had a friendly relation with these countries. So recently, when the Prime Minister visited, we have signed 7 important agreements. We look at some of the main agreements that have been signed. See, some of the key outcomes, that is firstly discussion on the Teesta water sharing. Teesta is a very important river. Teesta flows in India, it flows in the states of Sikkim and West Bengal. Then it joins Brahmaputra in Assam and drains in Bangladesh and then into Bay of Bengal. So Teesta is a very important river. So there has been a meeting as well as there has been agreement as to how the water has to be shared from the Teesta river. Then you have the Kushiara water sharing agreement. Kushiara is a very important river again. When you look at where it flows in India, it flows in river lower Assam and then into Sahelat region of Bangladesh. Okay, Bangladesh. So again, this water sharing, the river from Kushiara river, how the water should be shared, this also agreement has been signed. Then we have the Rupsa rail bridge. The Rupsa rail bridge here, it connects Khulna, Mongla port as well as Petropol as well as Gede, that is in West Bengal. This agreement has also been signed for the establishment of this Rupsa rail bridge. Then we have the Maitri power plant, very important power plant. Please make a note of this. Maitri power plant is a power plant which is a thermal power plant. Okay, it is not a hydroelectric power plant. It is a thermal power plant. Here it is established in Rampla, Khulna. Okay, so India is providing for a line of credit here for the investment in this Maitri power project. Okay, so this another important is your Rohingya issue. See, Rohingyas, that refugees that came from your Myanmar, the refugees have mainly been residing in these two countries, that is India and Bangladesh. The India and Bangladesh have had talks over the Rohingyas issues over many years right now. So what has been the talk is that for safe relocation of these Rohingyas back to Myanmar. Okay, so these are some of the outcomes of this outcomes of your India-Bangladesh talks that have been happening. Also, there is one more article that has come up which talks about Bangladesh shares wish list to defense equipment from India. Okay, so Bangladesh right now has been running a program called as Force Goal 2030, where it is trying to modernize its artillery as well as its weapons. Okay. So this Force Goal 2030, it aims to modernize its artilleries here, and India has already promised to provide for $500 million of defense line of credit. So under it, here whatever the requirements and the wish list that the Bangladesh government has submitted to India regarding its defense capabilities, the India is going to provide it with all the artilleries here. Okay. Then Hilsa fish, very important. Okay, Hilsa fish. In 2012, Bangladesh had put a ban of export of Hilsa fish to India, and gradually since 2019, this Hilsa fish import has started from Bangladesh. Hilsa is a very important delicacy. Okay, it is a very important delicacy during the Durga Puja. So now here Hilsa fish reaches Kolkata ahead of the Durga Puja. Fine. So these are some of the news that you have to cover from this article here. Moving ahead to the next news. The next news talks about India gets its first nasal COVID vaccine. Okay, nasal COVID vaccine. The name of the vaccine is Incovac. Okay, this vaccine has been developed by who? It has been developed by Bharat Biotech. It is a PSU. It is a PSU, public sector undertaking. This vaccine is valid for who? It is valid for 18 years as well as above 18 years citizens. Okay, so this is your vaccine, nasal vaccine. So this vaccine has been approved by who? It has been approved by your Central Drug Standard Control Organization. Okay, so it has been approved by your CDSCO. So when we look at the functions of CDSCO, CDSCO mainly functions what? It is the approval of new drugs and clinical trials, import of new drugs, licenses and registration, banning of drugs and cosmetics, testing of new drugs. Okay, so these are some of the functions of your CDSCO. Please remember that whenever a new drug is available in the market, the prices of the drugs as well as surgical implements, okay, surgical implements, equipments, the prices of these two are determined by your NPPA, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. This NPPA comes under Ministry of Fertilizers. Okay, it comes under Ministry of Fertilizers, whereas your CDSCO, it comes under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Please remember, clinical trials, approval of drugs, licensing, banning of drugs, importing of drugs, this is all done by the CDSCO. CDSCO comes under Ministry of Family and Health, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, sorry, and the prices of new drugs as well as surgical implement is determined by your NPPA, that is National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. This NPPA comes under Ministry of Fertilizers and Chemicals. Okay, please remember that. Moving ahead to the next news, rear seat belt alarm to be made mandatory. This notification will be released by who? It will be released by your Union Ministry of Transport and Highways. Okay, Transport and Highways. So previously the alarms used to be only for those persons who were sitting in the driving seat. Now it will be mandatory for people who are sitting in the rear seat as well. Okay. So previously it was only for the front seat, now it will be for the rear seat as well as under your rule 138 clause 3 of the Central Motor Vehicle Rules, a person is liable to be punished with 1000 rupees fine if he is not wearing a seat belt. Okay, so now this fine will be extended for the rear seat as well. Okay, so this is one of the important notification that will be coming out from your Ministry of Highways and Road Transport. Okay. Moving ahead to the next news, limited changes in the cities under Clean Air Scheme. Firstly, you have to understand what is National Clean Air Program. See, this National Clean Air Program is mainly concentrating on what? It is mainly concentrating to reduce the concentration of fine particulate matter. Okay, fine particulate matter. We have done particulate matter in one of the video. Please go ahead and check it. So, fine particulate matter by what? By 20%. Okay, by 20%. By which year? By 2024 at 2017 level. Okay, at 2017 level. So this is your Clean Air Program. The Clean Air Program for now covers 132 districts where there is a high concentration of PM10, PM2.5 concentration particulate matter, that is, and this Clean Air Program was launched by who? It is launched by your Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It was launched in 2019. So what is the report? The report here says that, see, when this program was launched, the program says that by the start of 2020-2021, there is a requirement that there has to be an improvement by 15% of your PM10 and PM2.5 level in this 132 districts for at least 200 days. Okay. So, for 200 days, if there is the concentration of PM10 and PM2.5 is just 15%, then it is called as good air. Okay, it is called good air, and this has to be maintained for 200 days. But what does the report say? The report says that just 14%, okay, just 14% register the 10% drop in PM2.5 level. This is a very important cause of concern. The air pollution is mainly contributed by your PM10 and PM2.5. The particulate matter are so small that they are measured in nanometers. They go and sit in your lungs, and later on when they are transported by the blood, they reach to your arteries and they block the flow of blood, and there is a serious problem relating to your heart. Okay, so this is why the concentration of PM10 and PM2.5 has to decrease over the years. But the report says that just 14 cities, okay, just 14 cities registered the drop, where there are 132 cities which have the high level of PM10 and PM2.5 concentration. Okay. moving ahead. So this is another news that has come up that talks about 6 states to get branches of National Center for Disease Control. Okay. So firstly, when we look at National Center for Disease Control, this National Center for Disease Control was established in 1963. Okay. So what is the main function? It is the nodal agency which gathers the data about the diseases, as well as it is the nodal agency for surveillance, prevention, as well as control of non-communicable diseases as well as the communicable diseases. Okay. So please remember, the NCDC, that is your National Center for Disease Control, it is the nodal agency for surveillance, prevention, as well as control of non-communicable diseases as well as the communicable diseases. Fine. So this NCDC, the headquarters right now is in Delhi. Okay, it is in Delhi, but here the news says that the 6 states, okay, the 6 states to get branches of NCDC. Please look at the states where all these branches are going to be established. They are going to be established firstly in Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Kerala, Maharashtra, Tripura and UP. Okay, fine. These are the states where we will be having the branches of NCDC. Okay, so that's it from today's video. I hope you all have learned the concepts that I have taught you all in this video. Do follow us on these social media handles. Do follow us on YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, as well as on Facebook. Thank you.